High school sports taking center stage tonight in Bettendorf, with the best of the best being honored at the annual Salute to Sports. 24 student athletes on hand, with just 2 taking home Athlete of the Year honors. Let's start with the guys, where Audubon's Charles Jugasaw earns the Male Athlete of the Year honors. The Pioneers junior, one of the top offensive line prospects in the entire country, was also dominant on the mats with a 1A heavyweight state title. The Audubon standout, surprised to hear his name, especially being one of the few juniors.
I mean, as one of 2 juniors nominated, it's definitely really cool just to be selected for this. You know, it's not, you don't expect to happen when you're a junior, but it was a surprise and it's really fun. I mean, it means a lot to me. It's really exciting, and I don't know, I'm lost for words.
Jugasaw becomes the first Pioneer to win the award since Pat Voss back in 1997. To celebrate, he told me he's off to Buffalo Wild Wings to, quote, eat a lot. On the ladies' side of things, it's West Liberty's Macy Dahlfeld earning the Female Athlete of the Year honors. Dahlfeld was the state's Volleyball Player of the Year, a first-team All-Stater in basketball, and had 3 top 5 finishes at last month's state track meet. The Comet standout unable to attend tonight's event because she's in Brazil playing volleyball already for her college team, the Drake Bulldogs. The Salute to Sports also honoring the Teams of the Year. On the ladies' side of things, it's the Rock Ridge softball team taking the honor. This award coming from their first undefeated state title last spring. Of course, the Rockets did the exact same thing last weekend. On the boys' side of things, it's the Pleasant Valley baseball team reigning supreme. The Spartans won their first ever state title last summer. A trio of legends entering the Quad City Hall of Fame tonight as well, all 3 making an impact on Quad City sports. Headlining the list, Assumption baseball coaching great Billy Argo. Argo led the Knights to 6 state titles in 18 years at the helm, piling up 542 wins during that time. Also entering the Hall of Fame tonight, North Scott coaching legend Deb Menke. Menke led the Lancers to state titles in volleyball and basketball before becoming the first female athletic director in the MAC. This year's class was rounded out with sports writer Don Doxey, who started the Hall of Fame decades ago. All 3 honored to be joining an elite company.
Well, it's a special thing because I'm from this area. You know, this is, the Quad City Times, my hometown newspaper. And, I watched a lot of these coaches coach and players play. I got to see Roger Craig play. I watched Pete Bush. I watched, numerous Hall of Famers that have been inducted. So I'm very honored to be part of that group.
It is probably the biggest honor I've ever had in my life. And I know that the only way I've gotten to this point is because I've been surrounded by good people in a great community, tremendous athletes, fellow coaches. Something like this doesn't happen by yourself. It takes everybody.
Surreal is as good a word as any. When I came up with the idea for this 35 years ago, you don't think, oh, someday I'm going to be in this. You don't think that way. So, yeah, definitely surreal, weird. It's going to be strange getting up there to give a speech when I'm usually introducing the other people to give speeches.
Congratulations to the Hall of Famers and all the student athletes involved tonight. It'd been a couple years because of the pandemic, so great to see everybody back in person and enjoying a great night celebrating high school sports.